Everywhere Jesus went, people followed him. All over the land, the news about what amazing things Jesus could do began spreading. One day, Jesus was making his way to the town of Capernaum, and word spread that he was coming to town. So of course, everyone was excited to come meet Jesus, including a group of 5 friends. You see, they wanted to come see Jesus and ask him for a miracle. But there was a problem. One of the 5 friends couldn't walk. In fact, he couldn't move at all. They knew that if he could just see Jesus, if he could just get to him, Jesus could heal their friend. But how could they get their paralyzed friend to Jesus if he couldn't walk there? The 4 healthy friends could try to carry him, but with all those people, there's no way they could get close enough to Jesus to ask for his help. This was a problem. While these friends were trying to figure out how to get to Jesus, Jesus was already teaching. He was at someone's house, and there were so many people in this house that they couldn't all fit in the same room. In fact, they couldn't even all fit in the same house. There were people spilling out the front door, and because they all wanted to hear what Jesus had to say, people were everywhere. So the friends decided they would have to carry their paralyzed friend. But when they got to the house where Jesus was teaching, they couldn't even get to the front door. Lots and lots of people were crowded around trying to get in and see Jesus. This was a problem, but they weren't going to give up. Their friend needed Jesus, and they were going to make sure that he got to him. So they had to come up with plan B. They couldn't go in the front door, so they'd have to make their own door. And what better place to make a door than directly above Jesus? That's right, they were going to go through the roof. Now, roofs were a little different back then compared to what we have today. Roofs were flat, and many people had stairs going up to the side of their house to the rooftops. Up there, they would use the rooftops for all sorts of things, like sleeping or drying their clothes, or sometimes even preparing food. So the 4 men carried their paralyzed friend all the way up the stairs to the roof. Now that wasn't an easy thing to do, but they weren't done yet. When they got up to the roof, they started digging. That's right, they started digging right through the roof. Well, the people inside must have wondered what in the world was going on, because this would have been loud and chunks of dirt would have been falling down on top of them. Can you imagine that? You're excited to be sitting in front of Jesus, listening intently to what he's saying, and then all of a sudden, dirt starts coming down from the ceiling. But that didn't stop the paralyzed man's friends. They were determined to get to Jesus any way that they could. So meanwhile, inside the house, the sound of digging grew louder and louder. More and more dirt fell all around the crowd inside, but Jesus, he continued to teach, and the friends continued to dig. Their hands probably grew tired of the digging, as it was hard work, but bit by bit, the hole they dug in the roof got bigger and bigger. And finally, it was big enough to lower the paralyzed man down through the hole to inside the house where Jesus stood. The crowd of people, they must have been amazed. But what they were getting ready to see was even more amazing. I bet the paralyzed man was both excited and terrified. Remember, he couldn't move, so he had to totally trust his friends as they lowered him down through the roof to Jesus. This was it. The paralyzed man was getting ready to meet Jesus. So Jesus saw that the man's friends loved him and they believed in Jesus. So he let them lower their friend to him. He looked at the paralyzed man who laid motionless in front of him, and he told him to get up. Now, that may not seem like a weird thing to you, but think about what just happened. The 4 men carried this man from his house up to a roof and then lowered him down through the roof because he couldn't get up on his own. But then something amazing happened. No one could believe what was happening because right before their eyes, the man did exactly what Jesus said. He got up. Right there in front of the crowd of people, the man got up. His muscles began to work. He could move. His toes and fingers could wiggle. His arms would move and his knees would bend. He stood up, picked up his mat, and he walked. That's right, he walked through the crowd. The people were so amazed. They praised God because they had never seen anything like this before. They had just seen Jesus do something amazing, something that only he could do. They had just seen a miracle.